Hey everybody, welcome back to Needs More Jazzhands, the view and review, or whatever else I decide to call it, session of the show. So as usual, what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to be watching it, and I'm just going to pause and talk about whatever I'm thinking at the moment. So if you want to see how this turns into the eventual podcast, go ahead and check that out next week, and I will have all of it posted for you. But for now, we're going to see just what I think of when I'm watching the episode. So what are we going to be watching today? We're going to be watching Batman, the Brave and the Bold, Mayhem of the Music Meister. I hope I'm saying that right. I have not seen, full disclosure, I have not seen all of Batman, the Brave and the Bold, merely because there is no streaming service that currently has all of it available, except maybe DC Universe, but it kind of seemed like that wasn't a thing, and I don't have that, and anyway, so I'm just going to be watching the one episode, and commenting on that. So, full disclosure, I don't actually know all of the context leading up to this. That being said, I've heard about this episode a lot, and of course, last episode's video and podcast was about the Flash and Supergirl crossover duet, which featured Music Meister, which is originated in the TV show. So we're going to start with... So since we did that, I felt it was important to go ahead and go back to the original and watch that and give you guys some unfiltered thoughts on that, and really talk about how it stacks up in comparison to the more updated version. So, all that said, let's get started, and here we go. Okay, I'm in love. I'm less than 4 minutes in, and this is just, it's beautiful. It's amazing. I don't even know what to say. I know a good bit about DC Comics. I haven't watched this particular show, but just opening with, oh yeah, this is kind of our classic, like, bad guys have a plan, good guys stopping them, da-da-da, and then seeing them all start singing, they're all annoyed, none of them want to be doing it, seeing the villains and the heroes allied in the what is going on, I don't like this of it, is beautiful. Seeing them, like, waltzing with each other, it just... Okay, spark of genius, absolute amazingness, I love it. We'll see if that changes as we go through, but, like, so far, this is one of the best things I've ever seen. I know that sounds insane. I know that I literally gushed about earlier shows and, like, what they do, and they're great at, like, in different ways, but this is just, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh my god, I'm gonna end up pausing this, like, every single minute. I love that we have some, like, serious Phantom Christine vibes going on here. Like, he hears Black Canary sing, and he's just like, oh my god, I need her, calling her in, having her hit the higher and higher notes. I mean, it's brilliant. I love it. I love that she goes so high she activates Sonic cry, the canary cry, I don't know what they call it on this show, and knocks everybody out. That's just kind of a hilarious accident in, like, it just, well done. I'm gonna have to watch this a few times before the podcast, and I love that because it's great. It's already great. Yeah. The West Side Story snaps. I love it. I love it so much. This episode was made for people who love musicals. It's great. I'm here for it. I'm in love. That's all there is to it. I'm in love. Okay. I the flair. I mean, the music. I like the music Meister that's in the Flash Supergirl crossover. I said that last week, but I mean, they're totally different characters. I don't. They're not played the same way at all. That's a, you know. I love it. He's so fun. I mean, at least in the enjoyable villainy of Flash and Supergirl, we saw that he actually wasn't a villain. He's totally a villain here. So he's totally chaotic evil, but it's so fun. I mean, it's bad. Killing people is bad. I will give you that. But, you know, I need a distraction, so everybody kickline into a rocket that's about to shoot off is just... I mean, this is the kind of stuff that is so great in cartoons that you can do, and in superhero stuff that you can just do the wackiest stuff, and I love it. And so many shows just try to take that down these days because it's too goofy, but it's so much fun. I love it. The Music Meister's great. His costume is ridiculous, but it totally fits. He's throwing puns out, which is, you know, if you're not doing that, are you even a Batman villain? He, like, rides away on, like, a music note. It's complete absurdity in the best of ways, and I love that. I absolutely love when shows like this just embrace the absurdity. It's beautiful. I'm just gonna keep saying that. It's beautiful, it's beautiful, it's beautiful. Okay, so now we're setting up the love plot, which, God, every musical episode has to be about the romance, at least in some part. So, Black Canary has a hopeless crush on Batman, who doesn't seem to see her the same way. But Green Arrow, on the other hand, has a hopeless crush on Black Canary. So we'll see if they work out. Obviously, they almost always do in the cartoons and the comics. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's probably a good chance that Green Arrow and Black Canary are gonna end up together. But while things are still uncertain, we'll see if they sing out their heart's content. Oh, so we're really leaning into the Phantom vibes. I love it. That's great. Okay, so we have the organ, we have the like dramatic cape over him as he's I'm here for it. You throw me a bunch of musical references, I'm gonna just eat it up. Apparently that's all it takes for me. I totally didn't notice this before. I don't know if this is part of his normal outfit or if this is just in his Phantom mode, but he has the two notes. God, I know what they're called. They're like linked quarter notes. Whatever. I really ought to know that. He has two of them on his outfit, and they're bent a little bit so that it's MM Music Meister, and I mean, it's ridiculous, it's silly, and it's great. I'm here for it. Oh, seeing all the cardboard cutout people in the theater is really awful given the, state of the world. For those of you checking in on this later, it's 2021, and yeah, that's how all entertainment's happening right now, so it's a little jarring to see that from something from 2009, but, I guess it's telling us that the Music Meister wants an audience, even if they're not real, and we're getting all that character development, but, yeah, it's kind of crazy to see 12 years ago. Okay, Drives Us Bats is hilarious. I'm just singing the praises of this entire episode. It's great. It's not good songs. I mean, objectively, like, if you analyzed it, it doesn't seem like it's that deep. But it's fun, and there's just something about seeing supervillains singing. It's hilarious to me for some reason. Like, if it happens to the heroes, that's one thing, because we expect that the heroes learn something and grow from their singing. But the villains are just, like, being forced to sing, and it's kind of just hilarious to me. Also, he has an entire song about, like, Batman being the best when he's trying to defeat him, and that's great, and I'm just really enjoying this. I'm really happy that I decided to watch it. Okay, I don't think we need Dinah singing a love song to Batman a la On My Own. But the lyrics, I mean, be my man, Batman. If only he loved me as much as he loves fighting villainy. Yeah. It's hilarious, but it's not... that's not good. I'm enjoying it, obviously. I have a smile on my face this whole time, but that's not good. Our voices may be in tune, but you, sir, don't make me swoon. I mean, this is just, it's top-notch lyrics writing. There's nothing else for it. It's a lot of fun. It's so much fun. These are such bad lyrics. I don't know that that's a bad thing, because that's part of the fun. I don't think they were invented intending to be the best lyrics in the world, but, yeah. Can I just say, I love that basically every single time we see the Music Meister, he's wearing a completely different outfit. I believe in Drives Us Bats he had like 25 different costumes, which, man, the dedication for the animators to not only show him moving, but to show him in different outfits so often is really impressive. But I love that, like, he's changing music genres, and every time he does, he wears clothes to match the genre, or at least the notes that he's singing at the time, and how the detail work is great. It's honestly just, it's great. This is a villain committed to actually killing the people that he is trying to kill. I mean, everybody else, we see one trap that's very easily escaped from. And I get that they escape because Batman in this show is apparently just perfect. But, I mean, the commitment, there's acid going out of the microphones, there's like swinging, I don't even know. There's like swinging blades from the ceiling, there is, okay, well, we've defeated some of these. Well, now the walls are closing in. Okay, we'll get really close together. Well, now the floor is dropped out. Okay, we'll hold it up. Okay, there's acid filling it. We're holding it up. It's getting closer. Now there's a bomb. I mean, this guy was dedicated to getting them killed. And I really appreciate that, because so many of these villains don't try hard enough. So that's my little ramble there. Also, I love, the Canary, she's down for this. I mean, she's not down for, like, the, capturing a satellite and the death traps and all of that. But she's here for the singing. I mean, that's made clear by the fact that Batman's like, was the singing really necessary? Meaning that it wasn't. Meaning that she was just singing because she's like, I guess this is what we do in this situation. He has opened me up to the fact that I can sing to narrate every moment, and I'm gonna do it. We're in a death trap, I'm gonna sing about being in a death trap, and I love it. as someone who would totally just, like, jump right in if I was thrown in this situation, I'm loving Dinah's energy of just being like, we're in a musical. I don't know what to tell you, Batman. There's a guy and he's singing, so now we're all singing, and that's how it's gonna be. Okay, so the one thing, and I'm gonna look this up, the one, like, kind of problem with this, okay, so the one kind of problem that I have with this is, so it's Neil Patrick Harris, and I love Neil Patrick Harris, but I hear Neil Patrick Harris's voice singing about villainy, and this is a year after Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, and that's all that I'm hearing. I mean, he's fantastic, and I love it, but I'm just like, I guess this episode is all the outtakes from Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. And he's just as bad at killing people. I mean, he set up 20 traps, and he still didn't kill them. So, I mean, the girl likes the other guy. She likes the strong, tough, handsome hero, and he just wants her to get to notice him and sing with him. And, you know, this episode is Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. So, yeah, that's my contribution there. I'm loving it, but it makes me think of this other Neil Patrick Harris featured musical thing. Anyway. Okay, this is actually, like, really impressive. I'm talking, like, in the story. So, the Music Meister has gotten onto speakers and presumably televisions. It's a little unclear how all people are hearing him, but he's gotten it so that his voice is being projected everywhere, and everyone, hero, villain, generic bad guy, generic people, they're all doing whatever he says, and the fact that the lyrics are, let's not fight, let's get along. I mean, I love the idea that, I mean, he's controlling people against their will. Again, I'm gonna fully admit that's not a good thing. Like, totally. I'm saying it, please don't take me out of context. But, I mean, man, like, this guy is talented. He is effective. He's a good job at being a bad guy, and he got people to stop fighting. I mean, like, do I want somebody to mind control the entire population? No. But I actually really like all of these villains that, like, they get everyone to stop fighting. They get everybody to stop, like, working against each other. We're all gonna work together. It's all gonna be great. Again, doesn't work in real life. I don't want anybody to do this. But it's just a really interesting thing to see when we see all of these various people working together for a common purpose. Now, that purpose is stealing a lot of stuff and potentially world domination. So, like, not great on that front. But I gotta appreciate the guy's skill. Okay. So, where were we? Music Meister is successfully taking over everything. I love seeing the, if you love someone, you can't be hypnotized to hurt them. So seeing Green Arrow hit, I believe, Aquaman instead of hitting Black Canary because his love is stopping him from hurting her. I love it. It's a classic trope. It's great. It's getting a little crazy in all the people that Music Meister's able to reach. We see, I think, all the Atlantans. I think that's who all was seemingly floating in midair. We see, like, astronauts in space dancing. We see people all over the world. I'm not sure how he's projecting to all of them. Oh, it's the satellite. Okay, sorry. I'm clueless. So at the beginning of the episode, we see the UN satellite that's going up into space, and it's gonna do something. It was a little unclear what the satellite did. So that's what he's doing. He's using the satellite to project his voice to everyone everywhere so that they're all working for him. Okay, I get it. Would have been a little nicer if that was actually shown. Maybe it was and I'm just not getting it, but okay, that makes a lot more sense. So now we have Batman is the only one who is not under the spell of Music Meister because they were able to take the earplugs out of Black Canary's ears, and so now they're doing it. Oh, this is going to be a callback to earlier in the episode. So Batman says, you don't win until she can sing as high as I can, which is a really weird thing, but okay. And Batman's gonna start singing. So what I think is gonna happen here is, we saw earlier, if she sings too high, she activates her canary cry, which knocks out everyone in the radius. So I guess the idea is he sings high enough to get her to step up again, and when she gets to that, it hits the canary cry, and it either knocks everybody out long enough for Batman to stop the Music Meister, or it breaks down his technology, his ability to spread his music, something like that. Love a good callback. I'm here for it. So that's my prediction. Okay, so Batman was trying to get her to activate the canary cry, so I was right on that. But he had her do it into the microphone, and somehow that broke the spell and didn't hurt anybody. Not really sure how that works. I think it would at least, make everybody collapse, because there's a really high-pitched sonic thing happening, but okay. He got her to use the canary cry, and that did it. So I'm cool with that. Okay. I'm more of a baritone. I had to use this Bat auto-tune to get... I mean, it's just, it's sheer ridiculousness, and I love it. I'm here for it. You're gonna hear me say that a million times. What else can I say? Okay. I hate the ending. Okay, so in my opinion, the weakest part of this episode was the romance subplot, which was probably the part that continues and actually impacts the plot of the show. I'm sure the Music Meister doing his stuff is just a villain a week kind of thing. We probably don't even see it in the next episode. I will go back and do my homework to see if that's true. But, so the thing that's going to be important here is Black Canary wanted to be with Batman, but she ends up with Green Arrow. Cool. Kind of knew that was where that was going. So we see, she asks out Batman, he says no, she gives kind of her Eponine performance again, but then we hear Green Arrow singing back to her, talking about how he wants her to love him, and they realize that they're really similar, and they both like to sing, and they're both open to love, and so they end up together. Woo. They don't sound good together. When we had Black Canary and Music Meister duetting, talking about, loving Batman and being infatuated with her, I was cool with that. It sounded good. Black Canary and Green Arrow don't sound good together. That's kind of a problem. You really needed to show, their voices blend better than anybody else's. Show her with Batman and they don't really click. He needed to use the auto-tune to be able to keep up with her. Show the Music Meister. He can keep up with her, but he also wants to control her. Cool. All of that's kind of in there. I love it. But then Green Arrow should have been her perfect match, able to really sing with her in a way that harmonizes, in a way that meshes really well. And it just wasn't that good. I mean, I'm not saying he's bad, I'm just saying, like, together they don't sound good. And that really breaks the whole point of the music as a metaphor for chemistry. So this video is like 90% me saying, I love it, it's beautiful, and the end just being really disappointed. So anyway, I will probably rewatch this a couple of times. I'm going to do my research to see what's going on in the show, to see if anything is really impacted beyond the romance subplot based on this episode. It is an absolute fan favorite episode. I can completely understand why. And I will really break down the elements of it and what makes it successful and what makes it not as successful as it could have been in our podcast next week. So, hope to see you all then. For now, remember that any time in life that you're feeling a little down, just add some jazz hands. Bye, guys.